Welcome back to That Dad Guy. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. Here we are, middle of the week, Wednesday. We're almost there to the weekend, and hopefully this week continues in the fashion that it is already. Been getting some mail. The weather's a little nicer outside, so the snow is melting, and work hasn't been all that difficult, so I've been getting home in decent time, which is always nice too. On Friday, I showed you this envelope that came. And I'm going to show you what's in it here today. But first, I want to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this particular project. So I've asked that you guys out there, as much as possible, if you can find any Ukrainian stamps, to email me, and I'll send you the address, and you can send them on to me, and I will show them in these videos just to give some awareness to the Ukraine. And then in the end, I'm going to put them in an album, and I'm going to give them to my father because he doesn't have any stamps from the Ukraine. So I thought it might be nice to present him with a new country and what's going on in the world today, link the two together. So that is the synopsis of what I'm doing. This is part 3. So at the start of each part, I will just do a little synopsis for those of you who aren't watching all my other videos and may not have seen part 1 and part 2. If you like this, go back and watch the other 2 parts, see what it's about. And if you like that stuff, watch some of the other videos I have too. So my series are always a little bit different. Sometimes they're post-crossing, sometimes they're Lego, sometimes they're stamps. Sometimes they're just me jibber-jabbering about almost nothing. So it depends on what you like. That's what you're going to get. So let me show you what was in that envelope. So it was a first day cover. So not Ukrainian stamps, but Canadian stamps about the Ukraine and also about the first settlers. So if you can see the postmark here, it says 1891 to 1991. So it was the centenary of immigrants from the Ukraine coming to Canada. And you can see them working on their homes there and the log cabin that they're creating, and the 4 stamps that came out in the series showing different things that they do. And on the back gives some more detail about what happened. And let me read it to you. So on September 7th, 1891, the first official recorded Ukrainian immigrants to Canada. They actually have the names of the 3 there, with the last name is Pylypiw. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to butcher the name for these people. They disembarked in Montreal in what was the beginning of a massive Ukrainian immigration to Canada. The first wave of immigrants consisted of peasant farmers fleeing oppressive social and economic conditions. The centennial celebration from August 1991 to October 1992 recognize and salute the many contributions of Ukrainian Canadians to Canadian society and to the opening up of the Canadian West over the past 100 years. So as I've said in previous video, the first settlers, Ukrainian settlers, settled just outside of Edmonton, Alberta, and of the 1.3 million Ukrainian settlers that we've had since, most of them are in the West. There are, you're going to find Ukrainians all through the country, but the densest population or the biggest settlements of Ukrainians are on the prairie provinces. So I have shown you these albums before. I don't think we got to this far along in 1991, so we would get to them in the future. So this is my father's collection, and the 4 stamps that were on the first day covers, here they are. I'll just show them a little bit closer so you can see. Nice in 1991, it was 40 cents to mail a letter in Canada. You can see the different scenes that they've depicted, whether it's farming, whether it's surviving in the harsh winters of Canada on the prairie provinces, and the bountiful harvest that they have at the end. And then their arrival too, you can see them there on the ship there in the 3rd stamp. And the lumber as they get ready to chop down the woods to make room for their houses. That is actually all I have for stamps in this video today. So I had ordered a couple things. The first day cover was the only thing that has arrived. I was going to show a couple things at the same time, but I'm not sure when the other one will arrive. So I showed you what was in my father's collection, the individual stamps, the first day cover. We've talked a little bit about that and what I have coming. I'll talk about it when it gets here, I guess. And I've heard from others that are sending things, so that'll be great when they arrive. If you are still interested in trying to help out, because I'll need a lot, just send me an email. I'll put that below. and then I'll send you the address and you can send those on. So maybe it's something you found in a local stamp shop or collector store, or maybe it's something you had in your house and you're willing to share it. That would be great. So I'm going to move on. My wife's aunt, Wendy, told me about this Easter egg. I hadn't seen it before, but I want to show it to you. She thought you guys might be interested, and I think you will be. So where Easter is getting closer, I thought I would show you what we have here. So I'm going to throw this picture up. This is from Vegreville, Vegreville in Alberta. It was the world's largest Easter egg, or Pysanka. So Pysanka, the Ukrainian word for it. And it was the world's largest. I say was because there has been one in Brazil created in 2019, and there's been one in the Ukraine that's been created there. Both have surpassed it in size. So we will see. It's still impressive. I'm not sure if the others spin, because this one does. As the wind goes, it's like a weather vane. It moves with it, and the colors are very bright, and there's lots going on. I guess it's very beautiful to see. I haven't yet seen it with my own eyes. I've not been to Alberta in quite some time, and this was not one of the places that I stopped at when I was there. But it was created in 1974. In 1973, the province of Alberta put together funds to give to different communities to create monuments for the RCMP, because they were turning 100 years old, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And what this town decided to do was build a monument to the Ukrainian settlers, which was the largest settlement of Ukrainians in the country at the time. Whether the Albertan government appreciated not having a statue to or a monument to the RCMP, but instead this one, I don't know, but it has become a tourist attraction and done great things for the community, and it also speaks volumes of Canadian-Ukrainian relations. So I think in the end it was probably the right choice to make. And hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of history here in Canada. We've talked about the West Coast and or the Prairie provinces and the settlements, so I just thought I'd show you this as one of the things that's in those settlements. All right, so hopefully you have a good week. I'm sure there'll be more videos coming. Certainly there will be one on Friday. I'm not sure if there'll be one on Saturday with That Dad Guy Answers, because I haven't got any questions off the last one. So if you haven't seen the video, or there's some questions you want to ask me, it is open category this week again. And I'm doing that because I'm not sure whether or not this video series will continue, or if it's come to its natural conclusion. But if there are questions that you want to ask specifically that you want in the video, go back to the last That Dad Guy Answers and send me a question. And then that will make sure that there's a video coming out on Saturday. Other than that, hope you have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?